In the previous video in this series, several leading experts in education presented ideas on ways teachers can promote more parental involvement in schools. In this video, we travel to Grand Traverse Academy in Traverse City, Michigan, where a senior faculty member of the William Glasser Institute prepares new teachers for the year ahead. The instructor, Jeanette McDaniel, specializes in training school faculty and staff in Dr. Glasser's choice theory and quality school concepts. At GTA, she has led training programs from the school's inception and was instrumental in the school achieving quality school status. She will address such topics as the definition of a child's quality world, behaviors such as connecting and disconnecting, and the 7 deadly habits that damage relationships. Included in her talk will be references to the 5 basic needs of choice theory, the physical need for survival, and the psychological needs for love and belonging, freedom, power, and fun. Dr. Glasser states that all human behavior is chosen in an attempt to satisfy one or more of these 5 basic needs. Now, to explain how these concepts affect students and teachers is Jeanette McDaniel.
We have 5 what? Basic needs. What makes those needs different? The strength of the needs. Some of us have a stronger need for belonging than others. Why is that important to know in a school setting? We behave based on those needs, that it's giving us instructions to behave. But when we're behaving to meet the needs, we have to have a picture. And that picture is in something that we call our quality world. So why is it important to learn about those pictures that's in your students' quality world? If the world out there is not helping them match the picture that they're behaving to get, then you're going to see some creative behaviors, some bizarre behaviors at times, because they're doing the best they can in an attempt to get something that they want. Today we're going to talk about, again, relationships. How important is it for you to build a relationship with your students in your classroom? Most important. Most important. And when is the best time to start building that relationship? Right away. Right away. What happened to the energy in this workshop yesterday when you all began talking with each other and finding out the pictures in each other's quality world? Did it just go up? Because you were connecting. We talked yesterday about children when they're not connected and they're disconnected, you can expect a lot of interesting behaviors, and those behaviors are trying to help them connect so they can meet their needs, but they have a very specific picture of what kind of teacher they want. And you have a very specific picture of what kind of student you want. And you're always comparing that best student you ever had with what you're getting. What happens then when you find that you have a different picture of what you want that student to be doing? What happens with you? And it's not matching. It kind of throws you off balance. That's the scales that you're always comparing what you want with what you're getting. Well, now let's talk about how important is it then to get to know the parents of these students. Why would it be important to build a relationship with the parents? Because they are in the students' quality world, the students in their quality world, and you want to get your picture in the students' quality world and the parents, because you might need cooperation. So there's many ways that you can use what you learned yesterday to prevent a lot of discipline problems. One, we know it's necessary for you to meet one or more of those 5 basic needs. The other thing we know is some of those students coming into your classroom may have a higher need to achieve, which is power and recognition. They may have a low need for belonging. It might be hard for people to connect with them because they really don't want to connect. They'd rather study by themselves than to study with another child. They might have a high need for freedom, where they've got to move around, and to sit in that chair is not easy. So you might want to help them meet those needs in a way within the boundaries where you're getting your needs met and they're getting their needs met. So knowing that they have those 5 basic needs, now suppose the parent has a high need for power. We learned yesterday one way that we can help a parent meet their need for power when they come in to school to see you. Does anybody remember the one way that can meet all of those basic needs, but especially that power need? Listening. What happens to a lot of us rather than listening? What are we doing when someone else is talking? We're listening, all right, but what are we listening to? We're listening to that self-talk. And if a parent comes in and they're not very happy with what's been going on in school and they're telling you about it, do you tune them in or do you tune them out? But the best thing to do is listen, because all that parent can give you is what? Information. And all you can give to them is information. So you can be thinking such thoughts as I need more information. If you're thinking, I need more information, you're listening. And when you're listening, you're going to get more information. And then you can think, right now, what could I do or say that might bring us closer rather than further away? What was that you want to be saying to yourself? What can I do? Let's say it together. What can I do to move this parent closer rather than further away? And I can listen. And I can say, I need more information. And I can give them good eye contact. And I can smile. It's hard to smile when someone is choosing to upset, isn't it? Okay, so we know that they have the same needs as we, but we know that some of those needs might be higher than ours. We know your students have the same need. We know that we all have a different quality world. We know that we all live in our own perceived world, and we also know that the quality world and the perceived world and the behaviors are 3 things we can help people to change. We know we're internally motivated, not externally motivated. And so yesterday we talked about 7 caring habits and 7 disconnecting habits. Why do we use those deadly habits on ourselves and others, such as blaming, complaining, criticizing, nagging, threatening, punishing, and rewarding to control? Why do we use those? What need does it satisfy for us to use those deadly habits on ourselves and others? Power. What else? If you're blaming somebody else, freedom from. Okay? And when you're really using all of those and talking to another teacher or talking to your spouse at night when you get home from school, do you feel better or worse?
Worse.
Do you? There's got to be a payoff for the behavior. Remember, all behavior has a payoff. Look for the payoff. As bizarre as it may appear to you, it makes sense to the person choosing it. What is the payoff when you begin to share all the things that went wrong at school, or all the things that went wrong at home when you get back together again? Does somebody listen to you? And what need does listening satisfy? It can satisfy the 4 psychological needs of love and belonging, power and recognition. It can be fun and freedom to just, and some people say vent. Did you ever think what a vent does? What is a vent for? What? It releases pressure. Does it also pollute? It takes a vent. If it's dirty, you need to clean it out. So what we want to do is clean out that vent, that venting. But what often we do is we unload on somebody else, and when they go away, do they feel better or worse for having been vented to? And so taking a look at some of those parents coming in to see you may be coming in just to vent. If a parent comes in, they're trying to tell you something. They want something, so they will go away feeling better. We have 3 very well organized and experienced administrators. Allison is the assistant principal here at GTA. Tammy is in training to be, and Linda is in training. They're also in training to be faculty members at the Institute. They're already as good as any of us. And they're going to come up and tell you some of the things that they do here at GTA. One, to handle situations with parents, to make sure that the parent puts GTA, when they leave here, GTA is even more positive and pleasurable in their quality world than it was when they came. What they do to invite the children to school, and how they handle various situations in the classroom and with the parents. So Tammy, Allison, and Linda.
First of all, when we're talking about parents and our relationships with parents, we want to make sure that we never, ever damage the relationship. So even if it's taking some time, we call it customer service here. Our parents are our customers, our students are our customers, as administrators, staff are our customers. So we want to make sure that we're always providing great customer service. So we want to front load information for parents. We want to let them know what we expect out of them. We want to make sure that we return any phone calls or emails that day, if possible, or if necessary, at least within 24 hours. Other customer service techniques?
I'm thinking of new parents right from the start, before their students ever come in to the school or are enrolled. We make sure all of our contacts are positive. We invite them into the school, and we have information nights where we really tell them what we stand for and how important the kids are to us. We talk about not just their academics, but just their growth as a person, their character, and how we want to treat their children, how we view their children. And that first information night, you can just see parents walking away going, wow, my kid's going to be a part of this. So we really put our vision out there and what we stand for, and a big part of that is providing a safe, loved, and learning environment where they know that their children are cared for. So as we talk about customer service, when you're taking somebody's child and assuring them that that child is going to be safe, that child is going to be loved, and that child is going to be learning, you know, a parent feels good because that child is precious to them. So we want to let them know that their child is valuable to us too, right from the start. So that's one thing.
Another thing that we do is we have a true open door policy at this school. Parents are welcome here anytime and do come in frequently. We have tours going on all the time, so much so that in our classrooms we just don't even, people walk in and out all the time. Parents are in classrooms either helping, observing, doing small groups, stapling, punching, copying, whatever, or coming just to visit. I often had parents come and eat lunch with their students in my classroom, just to bring, just connecting time with them. So they feel very welcome here. This is their school too, and they feel that. They come in.
we'd like you to remember a 10-to-1 rule. For every one negative interaction you have with parent, student, administrator, other staff member, you need to have at least 10 positives. So that kind of gives you an idea of how many times you need to have contact with the parent before you're going to call them and approach them with something negative that's happening or a problem. Another thing to keep in mind is that you always want to appear competent to parents. You might not always have the perfect answer right away, be able to, knock their socks off with what you tell them. But you can say, let me get some more information. Let me talk to Kay or Allison and see how they feel about this, and let me get back to you. You never would want to say, I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think? You want to certainly elicit feedback and information from them, but you always want to appear competent, because then they'll have the confidence in you to know that their child is safe, is loved, and is learning.
I'm thinking of some of the little things we do which aren't really little. Of course we want to take care of the big picture, the academic growth, and we want our students learning, performing well, but we can't forget the little things. We ask our parents each year for their input. We do it throughout the year, but we do it every year at the end with a survey of how they think we're doing. And it was pretty amazing looking at the results this year. It's very difficult to get 100% agreement on anything when you ask a group of people. You get all kinds of opinions. Well, one of our questions was, do you feel welcome at GTA? And 100% of our parents said yes. And we do that by greeting them in the hallway and smiling. If they come in and say we're engaged with a group of students, we may not stop and talk with them, but just an acknowledgement, a good morning, how are you? Always having that smile on our face and a pleasant greeting, and remembering that they are important. And so they come in and they feel welcome and they feel, good. I'm a part of this school. And once you get somebody feeling good, they see you in a better light. They see the school in a better light. They're just feeling and thinking positive. So just watching the little things.
Another not so little thing is communication. We make sure that we're sending out newsletters from our classrooms, from our school, electronically as well as in paper form, depending on what people need, that we are calling them, that we are talking to them when we see them in the hall. That 10-to-1 rule can sound a little scary until you realize that how often do you see those parents in the hall where you can stop and say, Sue did such an amazing thing yesterday, and genuine about it, because we're all so excited about those kids. That's why we're here, and say what they did, and there's one of your 10. Just that little deposit makes such a big deal. But that kind of communication and them just feeling empowered and knowing about things helps build that relationship too with parents.
Through that survey, we also learned that parents want more advance notice for things, such as conferences or culminating events. And as staff members and teachers, we might be running around trying to organize things and think that, 3 days or a week notice is enough, but not for working parents. So through surveys, we learn great things about the school, but we also learn things that we can improve. So for all culminating events and conferences, and any time you want to let the parents know about an event, our rule is going to be 3 to 2 weeks notice for anything like that. So that's just another one of those customer service things.
One of the very first places to connect with parents for all of us is going to be that open house. And I can't stress how important that is. Not only, we're all concerned about having our rooms set up in the way we want them because it feels comfortable to us, but even more important is that night when those parents walk in, that we do that. We smile and we greet them when we try to get a name with a face, because I know for all of us we're better with the faces than the names, and make them feel that their child will be safe, loved, and learning at that time, at that open house.
That's quite a trick when this is your first year at GTA and you're really nervous, and you have these parents who are coming in and they're nervous and don't know, it may be their child's third new teacher, because we're a new school. We have had some turnover, and so they might be really apprehensive before meeting you and getting to know who you are. So the trick is, even though you're nervous, you have to appear competent, because that's the first impression. And like Jeanette says, you don't always get a second chance to make a first impression. So we have to be careful. We also want to be careful in our conversations with parents that we don't ask them to do things that they cannot do. So if a child is disruptive in the classroom and you've tried 10 different things and it's not really working and you don't know what to do, don't pick up the phone and call the parent and say, I've tried 10 different things and I'm not sure what to do. Even if you're nice about it and say, well, what's worked for you in the past? What kind of message would that send to the parent? Competence? No. So who would you come with a problem like that? Yeah, come to us. We'll talk it through. Then you can have the confidence and competence to call the parent and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we're doing about it. We've seen some success with this, and we'll keep you posted on how things are going.
And Allison had mentioned we want to not just appear competent, we want to be competent. But one way that we can demonstrate that not only are we a competent teacher, and this is a school that encourages quality work, is we can show parents the student work. So we invite parents in several times a year to classrooms and show them. So students can say, this is what I made, look what I learned, and here's my poem on the wall, here's my project. And the students feel really powerful because they have worked hard and they get to show off their work to their parents, so it's great for the student. But think how you feel as a parent and you come in and see what your child has been learning. Because a lot of times the kids, what'd you learn at school today? Oh, I don't know. They're not always the best ones to share all the wonderful knowledge that we impart with them during the daytime. So it's great for parents to come in and see what we do. And that's why we like to have a lot of work in the hallway and in our quality work display, so parents can see learning going on.
As soon as you get your class list, one of the things you can do is, are we going to say that, is that a universal? Or you're doing this like you have something to say? I send out postcards all summer. I keep that connection going with the kids, and a couple of them who have the need, maybe give them a call, say, how's your summer going, and I miss you, and one kid, can I come and watch a game, or keep that connection going. But yeah, absolutely, that's a great idea. You just can't do it until you have a class list. So
they're under lock and key right now.
Yeah.
And your first interaction with the parents probably will be at the open house, because class lists won't be distributed much before the open house. But we have an expectation that every month you're making a positive contact that we as administrators hold you accountable for. You'll have your positive contact grid, and each month we'll tell you what kind of positive contact, whether it's a phone call home to all of your students that month or a postcard home, and the information that we share with parents. What's more powerful? Timmy's a great kid, or wow, you would not believe how Timmy performed on this last social studies quiz. What's more powerful? More genuine.
So we need specifics.
Parents are important. They are our partners. We're working together. So it's very important to keep that relationship strong and healthy. And it's really neat to see parents with the GTA stickers, our school stickers on their car. They put those on their car and drive proudly because they feel, good about being part of this. So that's what we're working for.
The belief that parents and children are customers is demonstrated every day in the warm, welcoming atmosphere of the school building and teachers of GTA. And it is a key element in the school's continuing efforts to build a productive partnership between home and school. In the next video in this series, Jeanette will elaborate on the concept of parents as customers and give suggestions and ideas on how to prepare for parent conferences.